welcome to Camp Kyriakis. My name is Elanor and I'm here to welcome you at a very special session of Fun Craft Friday. This is our final painting session, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some trees in here and we'll see how it turns out. So what I have for us today is I have some pre-made shades of green. If you would like to mix different shades of green, I've got some really dark stuff here and some brighter light stuff. The thing is, there are many different shades of green within a tree, and what we want to do is we want to put as many colors as we can. Okay, so to start, let's aim to put a big tree in the foreground here, so we can't see the island that it is sitting on, but we can probably aim for the top of the tree to show up maybe right about here. So I'm going to take some of my darker stuff, and I'm going to start here, and again, just like before with the mountains, this is kind of a leap of faith, so you just gotta whoosh. Boom, and it'll fade off into the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to widen this a little. So I'm just going to go down. And now I'm going to angle. You can use a fan brush for this, or you can just use a plain brush. I'm going to use a plain brush so that if you don't have a fan brush at home, you can follow along. And we're just going to slowly start to hit the paint in an outward motion like this. And now we're just dropping little branches in. And then we're just going to go down and alright, and we're just, and it's just kind of a zigzagging motion. And it gets thicker at the bottom too. So there we've got our first tree dropped in. And as I'm looking at this, I'm noticing that the tree's blending in with the background a little bit. So I'm going to take some of my lighter green, and I'm just going to drop in some lighter points in the background, because there are some highlights in the front that should be there. So I'm just, again, going up and down because they're in the distance, and they're not super bright. And I think they're having a good day today. Oh, look, the sun's hitting them. Okay, I think this tree needs a friend. It's always nice to have a friend. So, I think what we'll do, let's just stick his friend. He'll be a little bit taller, and right here. That's where the friend lives. And again, we're just going to go here and just slowly start to just add a little bit. And then it's an outward movement, and you're just gently hitting the canvas and kind of zigzagging back and forth. And there you have it. You've got a couple little trees there. Maybe we'll just... Now, I've got to let this dry. So while I'm letting this side dry, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of depth to this section here, because I want it to pop a little bit more. So to do this, I've got a different shade of green, and I'm going to first go along the back here. I'm just going to darken it a little bit, give it a different tone of green from what is at the front. And green mixes very well with yellow, and yellowy greens and greeny yellows really help to emphasize different plants and shades and bushes within your painting. I'm also not evenly spreading this because I would like some texture. I would like some texture to my painting. Different shades and layers and textures with the paint is really what gives your painting depth. So while this is drying, I'm just going to come over here, and there's probably some kind of tree up along here. So I'm just going to make some more definite lines across the front. Now the trick with this is to not be afraid to go really dark and really light, to emphasize the difference between what's behind and what's in front. So the trees so far are just a little bit darker at the front, but I'm going to just make them a little bit lighter now, so that they're very clearly in front of the rest. So there, we've got a little clump of trees on top of the little island there. And now I'm going to start moving into here because I think the paint is dry enough. So I'm going to start. The lighter sections are coming from this side. So this will be the lighter side of our tree. And again on this one too. And again, I'm zigzagging this back and forth. And it will not be over the entire tree, just on bits of it. So we've got the darker sections and we've got the lighter sections coming out. Now we're going to go into the other tree too. Now again, we've got some lighter highlights and we've got some darker bits. I'm going to go in with some black and make it very dark green, and I'm going to put some suggestions of a trunk. I'm just going to put some darker bits up here. Now because there are two trees together, the bits along the sides, there's going to be a lot of dark in there. Although it's not super clear, there are two trees, not one. And all this does is it hints at darker sections within the trees, and it really makes the lighter sections pop. Now I did promise earlier that we would put a bit of a suggestion of a trunk in there. So again, like I said earlier, I've just got a little bit of dark in here. And I'm just gonna go down where it looks like the tree is a little thinner. Just kind of hint that there is a trunk there. I'm going to do the same with this one. Because we've put in the dark, we need to make sure that it is nicely complemented with light. So I'm taking just yellow, straight yellow. I didn't mix it with any green, and I'm just dropping little bits. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you look at a tree, there are bits where the sun shines brightly on it, and it will be very, very bright in the light spots and very dark in the dark spots. So when we're painting, we always want to emphasize that. And to finish up, all I'm doing is I've put some more light stuff across the top here. So I'm just going to put some dark in underneath because trees make shadows. And we should probably just put a little hint of where the trees are in our reflection here. All I'm doing is I'm just letting there be tree reflections in the water. And there you have it. At last we have completed our 4-step painting. I hope you had fun painting with me over the last few weeks. If you decided to try and paint along with me, which I hope you did, please share with the camp what you have done. So if you could email us with photos, we would love to see your work. Thank you so much for painting with me, and I hope you had fun. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.